Good morning again, everybody. We are going to do our tessellation project. So you should have found the bag that has two pieces of colored paper. Yours might be different than mine. These are just the contrasting colors from our color wheel. So you might have yellow and blue or red and green. Mine happen to be purple and orange. You've also got one of these. So we're going to start with this piece. And when we do, we're going to do tessellations. And so a tessellation is basically a repeating pattern. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a shape here. I just drew a little shape. If you want, you can draw a triangle or a square. But then I'm going to take my scissors, and hi Henry, and I am going to cut this little shape out. And you can ask your parents for help if it's too tiny. And I want to save that little piece. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to glue this piece directly across from where I cut it out. Can you see that? So I'm going to put some glue here and I'm going to take this little piece. There we go. And stick it on here directly across from where it was. I'm going to hold that there. I want it to stay there so you can see I've got the piece cut out and directly across from it, I'm actually going to move it a little bit, right, is the piece, the little piece that I cut out. Now if I want to make sure that I'm doing this directly across, I can kind of take a pencil and hold it up. Or if you have a, if you have a ruler at home. Okay. So it's going to end up looking something like this. All right. If you want to put more shapes, for example, if you want to do one here, let's say I put a triangle here. And I can cut that out. And then again, I just want to have it directly across. I'm going to glue it. Make sure I get the... I'm going to glue it directly across from where I cut it out. So, put that on the top of the glue stick there. I'm just going to rub it around. And I'm going to use my pencil to kind of line it up. Dun, dun, dun. Is that the way it goes? Hang on, I'm going to check to see. I want to make sure I haven't turned this around. Nope, that's it. Okay. Okay. So now I have something that looks like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darker piece of paper. For me, that's the darker color is purple. And I am going to start at this side. You see that? I'm going to line these up. Now I have to move this down a little bit because this is poking out. So what I might actually want to do is this, so I can line it up in the corner, and I'm going to trace this. So I'm going to trace this on here. I want to be careful not to knock off the little pieces that I glued on. So it's going to look something like this. You can see I traced it on there. And then I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to make several of these shapes on here. I'm going to make 6 of them on here to start with. So if you want to press pause right now because you're going to trace something or start doing something, you can. I'm going to keep tracing my shapes. So feel free to fast forward through this later on. So you can see I've got 3 of them up there already. Feel free to enlist help when you're cutting these out. If your hand gets fatigued or you want to share the burden of cutting these out, you can have a parent or older relative help you, sibling, brother, sister, child. Emmett's actually here with me today. Dun, da, da. He's working on his work for school also. You can see he has his Chromebook open. He's working diligently on, what are you working on? Oh, so they're doing information. They're working on they have a read aloud that they're working on called Sophia's War. And so he's answering some questions about Sophia's War. Kind of like when we would do read aloud and we'd do like the main character and the problem and the solution. All right, one more. So again, feel free to fast forward through this part. You do not need to watch me trace or cut these out. I can't press pause and then come back on here. I have to figure out how to do that. Do you know how to press pause on the video? Like if I press stop, it'll just...
I know how to do it on a phone, but not on a computer.
Okay. We'll figure it out at some point. Anyway, like I said, feel free to fast forward through this. Now I have to cut all these out. You can see I've got my shapes on here. If you want to, like I said, get help with this, you're more than welcome. You can just do one of these and I can like hand it to Emmett or a friend of mine or something. Well, Emmett's the only one here right now. Anyway, but I'm going to cut all these out, so feel free to... Yeah, well, Henry's here too. He's just getting ready for school. We've got everybody on their same schedule. So Henry's probably upstairs getting ready because we've kept the same time frame and everything just so we don't forget what we're supposed to be doing. So then I'm going to end up with something almost like this. Where's my thing? I forgot my little bump at the bottom. So I'm going to put this back on here. Because I forgot that little piece down there. Oops, so I'm going to line this up. There we go. So I am going to end up with 6 pieces. That looks something like this. So there's that's going to be my repeating pattern. I'm going to cut the rest of these out. I'll have to get some more art projects for after spring break because I think we have just enough to get through next week. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring doubles home for me so I can show you and have stuff ready so I don't have to sit here and cut out 6 shapes in front of you. Sorry about that. It's probably slightly boring, but again, you can just fast forward through this. All right. I have to do better on this one. So if cutting is difficult for you, I would ask somebody to help you because you definitely want to make sure you've got some specific lines there so that this all works out. Everybody should have a pair of scissors in their toolbox. All right. So I'm going to cut one more out, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. Because now I will have a couple at least to show you with. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to start by gluing this right here so you can see. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of my purple piece. Da-da-da. There's the glue on the back, and then I am going to line this up in the corner. I will show you. There. So it lines up with the corner there. Notice how I don't have anything sticking out, okay, from the side. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I am going to put it right here so I can kind of see where the next one's going to go, because my next one, line that up. My next one is going to go right here. So I am going to leave this on here. I'm going to put glue on the back here again. I need to roll up my glue a little more. There we go. And I keep getting stuck to all my scrap pieces. Okay. So I'm going to have this the same way again. Now you're going to need to make sure you put glue on the right side, which I just did not. So there we go. See if we can do this without making any more of a mess. So now that I have this here, I can kind of see where my next one's going to go. So I'm going to glue this on right there. Now I'm going to leave this space at the end blank, but I can take this out of the way. Dun, da, da. All right. So now I'm going to do the opposite. Now I'm going to put my next one down here. There we go. Yep. All right. So let me show you. So it kind of looks like we've got opposites going. I'm going to put my next one down here and line it up so it's going to kind of look like we've got a checkerboard going. And then I'll put my next one over here, right, like that. And then anything that's hanging off the side of the paper I can cut off. And then I'll do the same thing down here. I'll end up putting one here and I'll end up putting one here. All right. So I'm going to keep up with this. I will show you the thumbnail for this video will actually show the completed project. Feel free to ask questions in the comments if you'd like, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.